On the dish this morning, the brothers Poilevey of Chicago, including their signature restaurant, Obelix. Oliver and Nicolas Poilevey took over the family business when their dad, a legendary French chef, died suddenly in 2016. Not only have they maintained the restaurant he built, but they've cast out on their own, pushing French food into a new era while throwing in a little Mexican, Korean, German, and whatever else strikes their fancy.
My dad was just like such a large life figure. He was, he was the restaurants. Like people came to see him.
More than 50 years ago, Jean-Claude Poilevey brought French cooking to Chicago, which eventually included his famed bistro, Le Bouchon. But in 2016, on the way back from the restaurant, Poilevey died in a car accident. It was up to his sons to take over.
In order for this restaurant to keep going, it had to come from us.
If we took any kind of dips, they would have been, this wouldn't have happened if your dad was around kind of thing. So we were lucky enough that we executed well, so we didn't have to fight any of that.
You were worried that, you had to have been worried that people were going to say that.
Worried is a strong word, but it's something that
I would be terrified.
People still say it.
And what do you say to them when they say that?
Well, usually you can look around the dining room and it's pretty full, and we're pretty confident in the product that we're putting out and the service we're putting out, so it kind of blows off my shoulder.
Not only have Oliver working the kitchen and Nicolas handling the wine and the front of the house maintained Le Bouchon, but they've made their own mark.
At what point did you decide that you wanted to do something on your own?
I think we had always wanted to. Me and Nicola talked about it sometimes about if we had our own French restaurant. But I don't know, sometimes you just want to get out of the shadow. I think we have another story to tell, and I think that's what we're trying to do.
That story is Obelix.
Hey, supper's ready! Roast boar!
Roast boar.
Named after the portly French cartoon character known for his love of wild boar.
Why don't you eat? It'll get cold otherwise.
Plus the taqueria Oliver owns, Chingon. Oliver's love of French and Mexican helped him create things like the foie, a foie gras taco.
So foie is basically all fat.
Yep.
So if you cook it forever, then it'll reduce to nothing.
See, I'm worried already it's been on there too long. But
It's not, so you
you're
can
the
start
expert,
to see.
yeah.
Once it starts to get a little more color, I'm gonna flip, and I'm gonna do a little basting. You know how to baste?
No.
All right. Well,
I
maybe
mean,
I'll teach
I
you.
do know how to taste, I think, yeah.
Once the foie is seared and basted, Oliver fries the masa in the leftover fat.
For those who don't know, masa is tortillas before
Yep.
they're cooked.
Yep.
This is probably my favorite part of the dish. Just that tortilla with all the foie fat just soaked in is great. I could eat it without the taco. It's really nice.
Why not? It looks amazing before
Yeah.
you even made it.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna take this. I gave it a little dab just so, so it's not so greasy, but it's gonna be a little bit greasy. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of grape jam that we make homemade in-house. I'm just gonna smear it all over it. Foie gras goes great with sweet stuff.
Yeah.
I like sweet and tangy stuff, so.
That was followed by the fried foie and a specially blended salsa matcha with pickled currants, Malden salt, red vein sorrel, and fresh lime.
This is the foie. Wow. That is awesome.
The foie was just one of the plates Oliver and Nicolas selected for their dish presentation.
When you look around at all this, none of this would have been served.
Maybe
this?
here, maybe
a little,
here.
but otherwise,
Yeah.
No.
what would your dad have said looking at all this?
He loves saying, what is this? What is this? This is not French cuisine.
That's what he was.
Yeah.
Also included, crisp tuna rice with foie gras, umeboshi, and Japanese mustard. 2 kinds of macaroons, peanut butter and jelly, and foie gras with date puree. Truffle toast with whipped boursin.
That is decadent.
Mm-hmm. The truffle toast was one of our opening dishes. We were gonna do it with a waffle though, so we still might bring that back.
Yeah.
Pâté en croûte with wild boar.
This is boar?
Yeah, so this is boar, foie gras, duck, and it has pork as well.
How am I eating this?
Just put it in your mouth.
Tête de cochon, fried pig's head cooked Korean style with kimchi. Wild turbot with champagne beurre blanc, black trumpet mushrooms, and melted leeks.
I think the problem that Oliver and I have with a lot of French restaurants, it's very set it and forget it.
Yeah.
They come up with an opening menu, and it's not overly seasonal. The menu items aren't being improved
This
upon.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love turbot. It's
I
my
love the
favorite fish.
turbo.
Yeah.
Turbo is amazing. It's
Yeah.
your favorite fish?
My favorite fish, yeah.
It might be my new favorite
That's the
fish.
most.
Choucroute royale, ham hock terrine, smoked kielbasa, snail, boudin blanc, sauerkraut, and wagyu pastrami.
Wagyu pastrami.
Wagyu pastrami,
Yeah.
So it's even more fatty.
I'm never eating
Not
any
wagyu.
pastrami other than Wagyu pastrami from now on.
For dessert, mille feuilles, caramelized puff pastry and banana with caramel and espresso buttercream.
You're bringing French cooking into every country in the world.
Yeah.
Mexico, Korea, Japan.
This is Germanish. This is
Germany.
This is Alsatian, but which is
Thank you
right
for
on
the
the
help.
border there.
Yeah, that's Alsatian.
Yeah.
That's where all my family's from.
Really?
You're French?
We're Alsatian. Yeah.
Oh, very
Nice.
cool.
That's
Simpatico.
Yeah.
There we go. I think what this restaurant is really what the younger people are opening up in places like Paris, which is hands down a French restaurant, but they are not worried about following rules anymore. They've already followed all the rules, and now they are way more curious about international flavors, spice, maybe a little less butter than previous generations. All these things were not used in French cuisine really at all.
I just think they're great. And
Oh, yeah,
they're doing
some
great.
of those dishes, man.
So when I showed up, I was starving, and we were still a couple hours away from actually doing the dish and eating the foie gras. And Oliver made me like some cheese. So I brought you guys a selection
These
of
are
sort of what
amazing.
he
I've almost finished
recommended,
it.
No, I have finished.
including the Délices de Bourguignon.
Nice try.
You've been
Which-
working on your French, Jeff.
I'm
It's
trying,
Impressive.
which means Burgundy delight.
All right.
Délices de Bourguignon.
And who knew you
saying
were
this?
Alsatian?
I am Alsatian.
I love it. We learned.
Alsace-Lorraine.
I think I'm going to have to pay a visit on the next visit.
Yeah.
Food looked
I'll
amazing.
take you.
Thank you.